So there you go, a little preview of what's to come. A little while back, maybe beginning in May, I went on this spree of buying these walnut logs. Found this online vendor that had a whole bunch. So I started buying these wet walnut logs. While I was buying some, I saw this plum log. Like plum? Never turned plum before, never even seen a plum tree. So I figured, why not? So I bought it. Plum is a fruit tree. It's the same plums you buy in the supermarket. It's a medium hardness wood. It's somewhere between maple and walnut. It's nice to cut. It's got sappy. It kind of gummed up the sandpaper and get a little bit of sap on my tools. On the surface, I thought the log looked kind of boring, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, this could be like a banana-shaped bowl or like a boat with the ends coming up. So I figured I could make something live edge out of it. The log is not terribly wide, so I didn't think that my chuck would seat properly because the edges will curl out of the way. So a worm screw wasn't an option for this mount. So I'm going to cut off some of this bark and I'm going to screw on a faceplate so that I can thread it onto my lathe and then trap it with a tailstock, which will let me work on it securely. I wish I could drill that fast in real life. With the faceplate screwed onto the log very securely, I'm going to screw it onto the head of the lathe, and now I've got myself a nice piece securely locked in. I'll still bring the tailstock up just because I'm a belt and suspenders kind of guy and I like to be extra safe. I really haven't mastered talking off the cuff in the shop. So here I am in editing. I'm going to take over. Past Todd was rambling once again. So what you're looking at right there is the bottom. You can see it's not flat. I'm going to have to true that up so that I get a nice turn. I can get a flat bottom on it. The other side towards the head, towards that monitor, that's the bowl, the mouth of the bowl. Now I'm going for a banana shape. This will be a live edge. I'm going to leave the bark on. So I will curl those edges up so that that line meets the top. That'll give me kind of a boat or a banana shaped bowl. And the edges will be kind of shallow. You'll see when we get there. It's kind of interesting the way it came out. Again, this is Plum. Never turned this before, so I'm not sure what's going to happen, how it's going to turn, but we'll find out shortly. I'm going to start with my favorite bowl gouge. You can see there I'm turning a lot of air because, well, it's a log and the majority of this log is not going to be on the edges. It's going to be a banana-shaped, kind of a thinner bowl. So first thing I'm doing is I'm working those edges up, trying to get myself something kind of a shape that I like and defining that set. This log is very green. I probably should have done a rough turn first. I'll let it dry, but I'm not known for my patience, and I got to feed the beast. I need videos, and I wanted this video to come out. So it's cutting nicely. My favorite bowl gouge is having no issues with it. Green wood always cuts better, but this wood seems to work pretty well. I do get a little bit of a build up, some sap on some of my tools, but otherwise, it's no big deal. So I'm still rounding over the edges of the log itself. I'm turning a lot of air because this log is not going to be a round bowl. It's really a square bowl with a banana or a kind of a rounded up edge. So I'm going after that shape. I'm trying to find it. The bottom is running true. I've removed everything. I'm flat, so I've got a flat bottom, but I've got to bring that edge up. And you can see a little bit there, I'm bringing it up. As I remove material, it starts to run smoother and smoother. And I'm checking for round. And as I get smoother, I can increase the RPMs and I can take more off. A little bit of scraping with the bowl gouge to clean up those final tool marks. You can see there, I've kind of got my shape dialed in. I kind of like it. Now I'm just going to do my final touching on that shape. Okay, off camera, I drew a line for where the chuck will seat. So that's where the tenon's going to be, so I can attach the chuck. So now I'm going to reduce that bottom so that that tenon will be proud of the surface. First, I'm going to take my bowl gouge and I'm just going to reduce the material. Then I'll fine tune that cut with a skew chisel on its side. I didn't even notice until I was editing, but I had a catch here. So I'm reducing the bottom, and there we go, and boom, there we go. Had a catch. Stopped it. It was so fast, I didn't see it when I was turning. It looks like I did react, but it was at a subconscious level. I'm pleased with the tenon and with the overall shape of the bowl. You can see I've got my banana shape there. My two ends are curling up. I'm going to take a skew chisel on its side, which is effectively a negative rake scraper, fine tune it a little bit and remove any tool marks, try to reduce some sanding and clean up that tenon. Then I'm going to drill for my token while I have it securely locked. Then I'll flip it around, remove that face plate, and I can grab it with a chuck and I can begin hollowing. Because of the shape of this bowl, the banana shape with the square sides, I'm always going to be turning a lot of air. The closer I get to the center, the less air there kind of is, but when I get to the outside, a lot of it is there. This wood isn't soft like pine, but it's definitely not hard like an oak or a maple or a walnut. So it's kind of in between, and it's still pretty green. My tools are having no issues with it. It's cutting like a dream. You can see it's coming off in those large curly cues coming off that. That's just the wet. So I'm going to keep this tailstock up as long as I can so I don't have it come off and hit me in the snot locker. But keep reducing that. Nice circle coming in. You can see I'm making progress. And there you can see the side. It's kind of a square bowl. Banana-shaped square bowl. That's what we're going for. I have trouble getting the bowl gouge into the side. The tailstock's in the way and there's a camera in the way. So I've switched to the carbide rougher. The carbide rougher is not impressed with this wood. It's green, it's not that hard. It's taking big shavings, big ribbons of shavings are coming off from this. It's just eating it up. It's actually kind of cool. The ribbons are coming off. They're kind of warm and they hit my hand. It's not too bad. I'm actually enjoying this turn. I kind of like this wood. It's just non-stressful, easy turn, relaxing. I'm making real good progress. The walls aren't quite thin enough. You can see they're still a little bit thick. And the bottom, it looks like that's too thick too. I'm keeping the nub on here and I'm going to try and reduce the sides now. Before I take the walls much thinner, I'm going to reinforce the bark with some CA glue. This way, as the wall gets thin, I don't lose any more bark and try to keep as much on as possible. At this point, the bulk of the wood is removed and the tailstock's in the way, so I'm going to work on that nub, that tailstock connection to the bowl itself. I'm going to keep reducing that base. Then I'm just going to take it and unceremoniously knock it out of the way. Now I can move the tailstock off. I've switched to the wide mouth carbide scraper, so I can flatten that bottom out with the wall thickness about 3/8 of an inch or in the area of about 9 millimeters. I'm going to hand sand and power sand to about 180. It's kind of wet. I'm not doing a lot here, but then I'm going to put some shellac on it. It's kind of wet. I want it to dry out, but I want to slow that down. I don't want it to crack. Moving would be good. Cracking would be bad. So we'll add the shellac, slow it down, wait a few days, and then I will sand it again, starting at 120. Okay, so it's actually like a week or two later. Now I'm going to start with the 120. The piece is dried out. There's a little bit of movement, not too much. And now I'm going to do it the sanding for real. Start at 120, work my way all the way up to 220. I'll use the power sander when possible, but I'm going to have to do a lot of hand sanding to get it up there because the edges, there's a lot of air there and the sandpaper just tears. After what seemed like years of sanding, I managed to finish that up. Now I need to flip it around so that I can clean up the bottom. I have a friction pad I bought online, so I'm going to jam the piece between that piece of wood there on the lathe and the tailstock. That friction pad will let the piece turn around, let the lathe turn it, and then I can clean it up. There's some gunk there around the edge from the shellac, and the foot itself needs to be cleaned up. It's moved a little bit. I got to clean that up, but I'll make quick work of it. A little bit more hand sanding around the bottom where I cleaned up all the tool marks, and this piece is almost in the books. It's kind of a cool optical illusion there. You can kind of see where the edges are and the whole thing. I like that kind of thing on the lathe. There was a lot of sanding on this project, so I cleaned up the bottom, sanded up where I had taken the tool marks off, and I'm going to add several coats of Waterlux satin and let them dry in between. On the lathe here, you're seeing the walnut crotch log. That video ended up coming out before this one. This one took a long time to dry. It was a lot wetter, and I like the walnut one better. I prefer walnut. This was kind of an experiment to see if I liked the plum. Plum was interesting. What can you say? So we're going to add this Waterlux. We're going to let it sit between coats, and then we'll be back when it's done. So this one is all done. My wife has decorated it with her little fruit birds. So it's a banana bowl, a fruit bowl. I tried to buy a plum from Price Chopper. Apparently they're out of season. I don't know. I love the decorations. I love the little birds. They're very cute. I like this bowl. I am really loving the natural edge bowls. I'm liking them much better than just the plains. I think it has a more rustic look. It's just more interesting. This wood is, I love the color. I'm not sure if this wood itself is plain or if this log just didn't have any stress in it and there's no figure. I'll have to get another piece of plum and try to find out. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.